salad, don't know where to start. Kamala's got the dressing that'll play its part. With Willie's magic cream and Dick Cheney's ranch, your taste buds will dance, just give it a chance.
First, we have Willie Brown's Magic Cream. It's smooth, it's creamy, and you'll wonder how you ever got ahead without it. One taste, and you'll be transported back to when things just fell into place like magic. Willie Brown's Magic Cream, the secret sauce to career advancement.
Success don't come easy, but my Magic Cream sure does. It's also good on D's.
What is up, guys? Happy Friday. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Nothing like Willie Brown's cream. Giving you a career advancement, huh? Just like the Diddler's cream, too. That's how you get advanced. Shout out to everybody watching. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. And if you're catching this on the live, let me see who's on the live. What's up? What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's keeping me warm today. Thank you, Gina. It's keeping me warm today. It's a brisk, I think it's like 63 here. So if you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section down below. We're going in. We're diving in today because a lot has come out. Pardon the pun. Pardon the pun. But we're going to go over celebrity endorsements for Kamala Harris. We already know kind of what's going on, but I kind of have some clips gathered together. One of which is Ricky Gervais. He's a comedian, often outspoken. If you guys remember correctly, it was some award show. He spoke and like openly blasted all the celebrities at the award show. Shout out to everybody that is dropping in. What's up? What's up? Hopefully you guys are doing amazing. Willie Brown's cream. Willie Brown. Let's jump into what Ricky Gervais had to say. Then we're going to cover J-Lo in Nevada endorsing Kamala Harris. And we're going to get into some E&D stuff today. So let's jump into Ricky Gervais.
Hi guys, Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime. It makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want that.
Obviously, that's a little bit of satire from Ricky Gervais, but this was the most hostage type tape I've ever seen in my life. Let me see where my mouse is at. Here it is. Okay, so we all see these celebrities here, right? We see Taylor Swift. We see Ellen DeGeneres. We see Beyonce, Ben Stiller, incredibly disappointing, Oprah Winfrey, Madonna, Jay-Z, J-Lo, and the one and only Leonardo DiCaprio. We covered him a couple weeks ago, and it's funny because, you know, in the video that I'll show later today, these celebrities, you know, Ozempic got these celebrities, man. Ozempic got these celebrities big time. But, you know, you got to trust, right? We got to trust the word of J-Lo, right? Because she has good character judgment, doesn't she? I don't know.
I am so excited to be here in Nevada campaigning. Kamala Harris, our very freedoms are on the line in this election. So come on, everybody, let's get loud.
Get out there. Your vote is your power. It is your voice. Please go to iwillvote.com. Let's get this done.
That was a little, the volume's a little low, but it's turned up all the way on my end. But A, why is Kamala Harris in jeans? Okay. And then we all know that J-Lo actually started off as a fly girl. Those of you from the 80s and early 90s as a fly girl, as a backup dancer on a show called In Living Color. one of the most iconic, at least in my opinion, most iconic comedic sketch shows ever in living color. And she was a backup dancer. And then from there, who knows what she had to do to get to where she's at today. So we got Kamala Harris in jeans, and then we have this hostage tape from J-Lo saying that she's endorsing Kamala Harris. She went on in the rally to provide what are those awards that you get when you absolutely suck at acting? I don't know what it's called, but she's getting a lot of either a lot or a little Rotten Tomatoes on this acting job, if you would. Look at this face. It's like, please, I endorse Kamala Harris. Don't let the tapes leak. Don't let the tapes leak.
I promised myself I wouldn't get emotional, but you know what? You know what? We should be emotional. We should be upset. We should be scared and outraged. We should. Our pain matters. We matter. You matter. Your voice and your vote matters.
Does anybody believe this crap from her?
And look, don't be afraid to make people around you uncomfortable. Invite people around you to be the change, to go out there and vote. Nobody likes having tough conversations or talking about politics, but trust me, I've been in some of these rooms. I see the way power works in this country. They love it when you do nothing.
Justin says, then the Oscar goes to J-Lo, excuse me. Sorry, I have a speech impediment when I put those words together. This is the worst acting job. We have to stick together.
Okay? A non-vote is an agreement. It just makes it easier for them to do whatever they want, whatever serves them. And this election is about your life. It's about you and me and my kids and your kids.
This is the most cringe-worthy performance. Give a round of applause for the most cringe-worthy, fake, Fugazi performance from Jennifer Lopez. Gosh, I wonder why she's endorsing Kamala Harris. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she did date the one and only Sean Diddy Combs. You know, if voters are on the fence about voting Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, at least we can take advice from this credible resource of a celebrity who has clear, good judgment of character of people since she dated Sean Diddy Combs. Am I right? Golly, what a joke. So Kamala can free Diddy. Yeah, they're on the Diddy fence. Instead of fence post, it has something else. Then earlier today, I saw one of the most cringe-worthy advertisements with the Avengers. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Let me know if you've seen this. But it is the absolute most cringe-worthy. It reminds me of when we were back in the vid times, in the C19 times, when they did this roundabout song of, oh, you beautiful people, blah, blah, blah. And literally, if you look at all these celebrities, except for Chris Evans looks put together, but all the rest of these other celebrities, they look sick, both spiritually and physically. They look like Ozempic got them. Ozempic got these guys. Here's the Terry said he saw this, but he didn't see the whole clip. Guys, hope you guys have a barf bag. You ready?
What?
Hey, Scarlett.
Jumping on the call.
Whoa. I think you mean assembling. I said
Wow.
assembling. Don, that's pretty good. No, they thought it was funny.
Scarlett, it is our pleasure to come together and to get the vote out this election. Come on.
Yeah, how can we be of service?
Well, how about we start with what our voting plans are going to be, who we're going to bring to the polls with us, that sort of thing. Just to,
I think Kamala Harris needs a catchphrase.
Ooh, yes, definitely a catchphrase.
How about this? I'm just off the top of my head. I can do this all day.
Shut up. I hate it.
Okay.
I mean, it's original, but
What about something punchier like, ooh, boom. You looking for this? Iron Man 2, everybody loved it.
okay. Again, I think we're just trying to get out the vote.
Kamala forever.
That's better.
Okay, how about I'm down with democracy? It's just clean, it's simple.
Okay, I like that.
It's hard to argue with that.
Kamala Harris down with democracy.
Oh, yeah. I'm Kamala Harris, and I say down with democracy.
I don't know if that sounds the way we want it to sound, though.
I think we just need, can we get some production though?
Jarvis?
My name's not Jarvis, but whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right. Down with democracy.
Down with democracy.
Is that what we mean, though?
Yeah, together we're going to tear down democracy.
Will you stop playing heroic music under yourselves?
I'm Kamala Harris, and I am down with democracy. Did I sound enough like her on that one?
How cringe. How cringe. Somebody said, where is it at? John said, you notice how good Marvel is doing now? They're not doing good because all the woke stuff, it's fine. Like what, you know? It's like they're tanking. They're tanking. And these actors know that their career is over. They know that their career is done. What's up, Rose? They're doing so bad that they have to bring back actors that they killed off in movies. Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to revitalize the franchise because of all the wokeness. And this is their endorsement to Kamala Harris. What do they have on these people? There is a good clip of Zachary Levi that I wanted to share with you guys. Zachary Levi has openly endorsed Donald Trump. Originally, he openly endorsed RFK. And Zachary Levi got a lot of backlash on this. And he went on his, I believe it was his Instagram or his Twitter feed or whatever it was, and talks about this exactly and what's going on in Hollywood. Because we know mainstream media controls a lot of, the DNC controls a lot of everything, right? They control the media, they control movies. Candace Owens has openly stated that the CIA owns some film production studios. Zachary Levi went on a limb and said this: there is some foul language in this. So if there's kids around, I'm just warning.
We have two options here, guys. Two. That's it. And I can look at either candidate in Kamala or in Donald Trump, and I can find lots of things that I don't think are good about who they are as a person, right? I think Kamala seems to be a lot nicer, seems, her laugh and her smile, and I do think that she has more eloquence when she applies it. But I think that she's not saying anything. I don't think that she's saying anything meaningful at all. She's talking in circles. And I can't find any substance in what she's trying to do, what her policies are, how they'll be different from Joe Biden's, who she's been a part of for the last 40 years. And our country, our economy, our border, all of these things were better in the hands of a man like Donald Trump, who I didn't vote for, by the way. This will be the first time I do. I didn't think that somehow this guy would come in there and do it. And guess what? He did. Everyone said in 2016, everyone's like, oh my God, it's going to be the end of the world. Democracy's going to go away. It's going to be, he's the new Hitler, all these things. And none of that came to pass. And all of these things that have been leveled against him, you know, some of these things are well beyond my understanding. There's so much lawfare that's been going on between both parties for so long, leveling lawsuits and this and that, and whatever. Guys, I can't, my endorsement of someone like Donald Trump is not an endorsement of all that is Donald Trump. In the same way that anyone voting for Kamala, it's not an endorsement of everything about Kamala and every other candidate that we've ever been handed. What I can tell you is that two big things, I think, that separate, I think, the way that I see the world versus the way that people who, I mean, hate Trump that much and would not be willing to vote for him and are voting for Kamala. There's two, I think, main differences here. The first one is, and by the way, and I think this is the kind of the bifurcation really that we're dealing with across the nation. I do not believe that the media, legacy mainstream media, is telling the truth. And they haven't been for a really long time. And that includes CNN and MSNBC and CNBC and Fox News and all of that stuff. I don't subscribe to it. I don't listen to it. I don't believe it to be something that is good for us. I don't think it's very factual. And even when they are dropping facts, they're dropping a lot of pundit opinions and nonsense and bullshit and spin. And I don't think any of that is good for us. So I think a lot of this comes down to, well, where do you get your messaging? Where do you get what you believe to be true? If you believe that those sources are true, are good, that they are worthy of being listened to, that's your choice. You are going to form a completely different opinion than someone like myself who does not listen to that stuff. And I do my own research, even though we're told, don't do your own research. Well, I do. And I go online and I sleuth through it and I talk to people who, by the way, are very moderate, very objective human beings when you try to get to the bottom of, well, what is the truth? What are we talking about here? And from everything that I can deduce in all of that, listen, if I did believe the things that were being spewed on CNN and MSNBC and all that all day long, I would probably absolutely agree with you. Truly. But I don't. I don't listen to that. I don't believe that. And I'm also not saying that everyone who works at these places are somehow like evil. That's not how it works. You have directives that come from on high, and those filter down. And the people, by and large, that work at these places, they don't know that they're being puppeted and used in these talking points. They think that they're fighting the good fight. And by the way, that's part of the problem that we're dealing with. This whole thing has become a holy war. So much so that there are zealots on both sides that they think in order to defeat the evil, we must become evil. We must become evil to defeat the evil. And I can tell you that that's what's happening, because if my DMs are filling up with people that think that they're fighting for the light, for the right, and in doing so, how they do it is coming into my messages and telling me to die, telling me that my family should die, mocking me and shaming me. What? You think you're fighting for the light if those are your tactics? If you're so full of hate, of fear and hate, that you resort to using tactics like that, you have lost the plot.
What do you guys think about that? So Zachary Levi is an actor. He was in a movie called Shazam and Shazam 2, and openly came out and endorsed Donald Trump. And in another video, he mentions that Hollywood is predominantly, they're filled with Democrats. And if you go against the grain, if you're not up there in regards of status, in regards of Hollywood status, if you come out as Republican or endorse a particular candidate in the Republican space, they shun you. And this is what we're seeing with this Kamala Harris campaign. Somebody said, who's the next to come out? Ashton Kutcher. If Ashton Kutcher comes out and endorses Kamala Harris, that I honestly, I think he wants to stay away. I personally think that he wants to stay away. Because I think he's in too deep, and it's surprising to me that Leonardo DiCaprio came out. How many of you guys think that it's surprising that Leo came out? Gina says that she loves Fox. Yeah, I think Fox, to go back to Zachary Levy's point regarding Fox, I think Fox is the least opinionated, most factual. News Nation also, or Newsmax, in regards of providing actual journalism. So much of this, in an earlier video I had shared, you clearly see how big these people's opinions are on particular stories. This is an individual regarding the Diddler case. Courtney Burgess said he was given 11 flash drives containing Diddler tapes. And this is what he had to say. Listen to this. This is on News Nation. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, smash the like button.
Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized.
Yeah.
Meaning
victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
Out of the 8 celebrities,
Crazy. When I first saw that, I was my jaw hit the floor because it's sick. This guy has a lot of juice on a lot of celebrities, and so did Mr. E. I gotta say, Mr. E. I think he had a lot of juice on celebrities too, and presumably he, axed himself in the cell. Coincidentally, there were no cameras around, and the guard didn't happen to be on watch at that time. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows what? We know. But who knows, right? And then now we have Diddy, right? And all these celebrities are getting the call to endorse Kamala Harris. They're saying, hey, yo, we need you. We need you. And it's sick. And I think I was having a conversation with another buddy earlier today, and we were conversating about how much actual juice or information Trump and the team might have on these people. And this is why they're so afraid. Nicole Shanahan was at an event with Tucker Carlson. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump hosted an event in Glendale, Arizona last night. Went until like 2 a.m. And it was a paid event and the house was packed. And Nicole Shanahan says this: we remember during Halloween, at the White House Halloween, Jill Biden presumably dressed up as a panda. And this is what Nicole Shanahan had to say about that.
In front of our eyes. The parading of Jill Biden in a panda suit yesterday, right in front of our eyes. What the hell is this mockery? No more. No more. No more.
She goes on to openly on live stage vote for Donald Trump on stage. If you're not familiar with pandas and this whole situation that I've talked about for the last 20 minutes, please look it up. Look it up. Sick. I can't put it on here because it's sick. It's disgusting. It's gross. Gina was the individual that said something to me in our Discord group. If you're not part of the Discord group, there's a description down below. You can check out the Discord group. But a panda. It's gross. It's despicable. It's despisable. Nasty. Somebody said, where's this at? Oh yeah, all these, Joe said, Tyrus on Gutfills says that these endorsements are being paid. And I agree with that. And Kamala Harris's campaign openly came out today, and they're pulling back advertisements in particular areas that they know that they're going to lose. But they're pulling back advertisements, basically saying that they're broke because they've spent so much money busing people in to these rallies and these different celebrities, quote unquote celebrities, to be part of her rallies. And basically the Kamala Harris campaign is broke. I wanted to share this. I don't know where this event was at, but here.
Welcome the host of Common Sense Crusade, Father Calvin Robinson.
So Calvin Robinson. This was a great video. He talks about the UK. Let's jump into it.
Thank you. I must start off with an apology. I hail from England. This is how I speak. I hope you can still understand me. But I come in love with a warning. My beautiful nation, your motherland, has fallen. England is no longer part of Christendom. It is a beautiful shell, reminiscent of a time when people believed in Christ and they built monuments in memorial of Christ, where architects may build something that they would never see the fruit of, but they built it because it was for the greater glory of God. Unfortunately, those buildings are empty. The average attendance of a church in the United Kingdom is 25. People have stopped going to church and they've stopped praying, and as a result, the Marxists have taken over. The average English family has a birth rate of 1.4. Mother and father are no longer replacing each other. At the same time, we have mass illegal and legal immigration, which means that the Mohammedans are outbreeding us 10-1. For the first time in my nation's history, Christianity is no longer the predominant faith. Probably in my lifetime, Islam will be the predominant faith of the United Kingdom. So I come here to warn you, don't do what we did. Keep up the prayer, keep the churches full, keep the Marxists away. Just this month alone, in fact, just this weekend, my friend was arrested for releasing a documentary. But just this month, I've had a friend arrested, charged, and found guilty of silent prayer in their own heads. So we've gone past the point of these Marxists policing our language and policing our tone to them policing our thoughts. We have these buffer zones around abortion centers where the police come up to you and say, are you praying for the lives of unborn children? And if you say yes, you get arrested. Because the Marxists appreciate the power of prayer. They appreciate that our God is a true and living God and wants to help the vulnerable and does not want us killing our offspring. But the Marxists want that to be the case. And so my message to you guys is keep the Marxists away. We took Christ out of our schools. We took Christ out of our judiciary. We took Christ out of our public life. Don't do the same. I thank God that you guys have your First Amendment that protects you and your Second Amendment to back that up. But not all of your politicians believe in those amendments. The Marxists want to erode your constitution because they forget that your rights do not come from government. Your rights come from God. And And we need to put Jesus Christ back at the head of everything, including the state. And to that I say, Jesus Christ may not be on the ballot box, but the Jezebel is. So you know what to do. God bless.
Mic drop. Jesus might not be on the ballot box, but the Jezebel is. What's up, Michelle? Hope you're doing amazing tonight. She says, amen. Amen to that. I'm going to switch. I'm going to jump into the jobs report. How many of you guys saw the jobs report today? There were expected to be 112,000 jobs, new jobs on the jobs report. And they were quite shy of that 112,000 mark.
Back with the Fox News Alert, and this is new to all of us. The October job reports just released. It shows the U.S. added only 12,000 jobs last month. That's about 100,000 fewer than economists expected. That's unbelievable. And the unemployment rate held at a steady 4.1%. All right, think about that for a moment, Steve, as I toss over to you.
That is crazy. Bidenomics is working. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are touncing around saying that we have some of the best job market and economy around, and yet you're shy 100,000 jobs.
12,000 jobs. That's a pretty big slowdown.
Well, as you noted, there were a couple of anomalies in the prior month, but the overall picture of the economy remains strong.
12,000 jobs. That's a
huge slowdown. You guys are talking about Bono. I got to look up what's going on with Bono. What is going on with Bono? Here's CNBC talking about the jobs report today.
Report, and the prophecy came true. Jobs light, 12,000 in non-farm payroll. That is the lightest going back to December of 2020.
It's a horrible showing. They were estimated 112,000 jobs, new jobs, and they had 12,000. What? Oh, man. What did Rob say? I think they only created 3 jobs. They were all in the Harris administration. I know a couple months ago out here in Clark County, they opened up a bunch of new jobs for the school district, whether it's a bus driver or a bus driver's assistant. And I haven't checked, but they opened up like a bunch of new jobs. And this was just right before the report was supposed to come out for one of Kamala Harris's rallies. And they said, oh, we got all these job openings. I bet you 100% all those job openings are still openings and they're not hiring. They only have 12,000 new jobs on the jobs report. It's dumb. Anyways, we have this situation going on with these Dominion voting machines. And this was a video of an individual speaking about the Dominion voting machines and how they just rigged the Michigan election. Let's jump into it. If you guys are voting on these machines, make sure that you, right before you click complete, there's an option to print out the ballot, and it'll print out on the, at least here in Nevada, there was a small machine that printed out the receipt prior to you hit confirm.
The Dominion machines, they get certified and sealed up and implemented. And then there's 15 different ways that the cheat occurs. But one of them is right before the election, they have some glitch appear and they say, oh, we need to download a patch on an emergency basis. And then what the patch does is it opens up a hole in the back of the system from which they log on from their Serbian office. They don't really admit this. They didn't even admit they had a Serbian office. But the truth is Dominion, which is supposed to be a U.S. company, the U.S. company is just the front. The real center of gravity of Dominion is Serbia. And they've got a technical office there. And when it was discovered, they said, well, it kind of does just R&D. No, it's the center of gravity. And they log on to the back of our machines from Serbia, and they manipulate election results. And I have this dead to rights. We have this dead to rights. What gets even funnier is they're doing this on Huawei machines. Our elections are effectively being run on Huawei machines, which are Chinese servers. And the truth is, behind Serbia is China. So China, there's a military institute in China, which is coming in through Serbia. There's Chinese nationals in this Serbian office, and they're logging onto our machines in the middle of election. I can even tell you how they do it. There's such a thing in computers, been around in the public for about 20 years, called virtual machines. You create within a server, you create a virtual machine. And so to an operator of that machine, it looks like he's operating on two machines. It just operates like but really that second machine is all in software, and it's all software. There's no physical machine. What they do is they come in through a back door that's opened up by this patch. They create a virtual machine. Within that machine, within the actual county election equipment, from that virtual machine, they then manipulate the results, the database, the data on the database any way they want. When they're done, they withdraw and they collapse that virtual server. So there's no record of nothing. Unless you go in and do a bits and bytes forensic audit, when you go in later and you look at the actual machine and all of its systems, you don't see anything. It's only if you do forensic, you discover that somewhere in the middle of it all, they created a virtual machine inside, did all the manipulation through that. That's actually done from Serbia. And behind Serbia, in Serbia, there are Chinese nationals doing it. Behind them, there's people in China. And this is all done on Huawei equipment. And if this sounds crazy, go to a website called Stolen Elections Facts, Stolen Elections, plural, facts.com. All the documentation is laid out there.
Yep, there you have it. I'm looking at the comments right now. I am going to look into this Bono situation. Chris Cornell from Elise 777. Chris Cornell and Chester had a book, The Routes to Trafficking. Bono worked with Chester's father. I got to look this up. Why do you think I haven't heard of this yet? Why do you think Clintons give $2 million to Mike S. from Lincoln Park? Interesting. Yeah, you cannot cheat paper numbered ballots. Yep. Sure. Throw it in there. Throw it in the chat, because I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna be diving down a rabbit hole later today, looking up this Bono situation. Here is Dems are still obsessed with Tony Hinchcliffe's joke. Geez, that seems like a week ago. About a week ago. They're still ratting on Tony Hinchcliffe for this joke. And they're sweeping under Joe Biden's garbage comment. And they're sweeping under Mark Cuban's Donald Trump doesn't surround himself with he surrounds himself with weak, unintelligent women.
This week marks a huge mistake for Donald Trump in a community within the Latino world that he desperately needs.
Yeah, the question is, that as far as surrogates go this week, it was a bigger problem for a comedian that most people have never heard of, or was it a bigger problem for Joe Biden as a surrogate to call half the country garbage, or even a bigger problem today for Mark Cuban to insult women voters who were thinking of voting Republican? Of those three surrogate issues, which would you say, Biden and Cuban, or this guy? I can't even remember his name.
The one difference in that is the reaction to it. I see your point, Scott, and we obviously talked about Biden's remark here. We're going to talk about Mark Cuban's comment in a moment. But Biden came out immediately to clarify that. Mark Cuban came out today to talk about his. Donald Trump has just claimed he didn't know who the comedian was. At his
I'm sure
rally.
he doesn't. A and B.
But he's still at his rally.
The
You have
campaign
responsibility
had a
for that.
statement out
The
before
campaign isn't the
Donald
candidate.
Trump ever even took the stage. They
No,
dealt
that
with it
statement
immediately.
came out after the rally was over. I know because I was at Madison Square Garden for 8 hours on Sunday.
Again, the campaign is not the candidate. The candidate could have
Is it
persuaded
not?
and spoken against this,
Then you
and he has
agree.
not.
Then you must agree that it's been kind of weird for the Kamala Harris's campaign through anonymous statements from staffers to change all of her positions on every issue. Then
Wait, Scott, just come back.
So this is going to lead me into this here. So they were talking about Joe Biden, and there has been Peter Ducey nails this and talks about this. I guess there was some issues. They edited the transcript prior to coming out, and this isn't being publicized on the news either.
We have a story about White House stenographers. First time this whole cycle. The White House stenographers come with the House. They are not political. Some of them have been there since Trump and will be there after Biden. And they are now as mad as you will ever hear a stenographer on the record that White House officials working for President Biden tried to change the meaning of their transcript. So it sounded like the president on that Zoom with Voto Latino was just criticizing a comedian instead of all Trump supporters. So now we've got a supervisor from the stenographer's office who is saying, our stenography office transcript released to our distro, which includes the National Archives, is now different than the version edited and released to the public by press office staff. And Amy Sands, the director of that department, continued, please avoid sharing rush drafts and excerpts, which are subject to review and might create confusion among staff, media, and the public, while our stenography office completes a thorough review process. The White House is not explaining what exactly happened here, just to say the president confirmed in his tweet on Tuesday evening that he was addressing the hateful rhetoric from the comedian at Trump's Madison Square Garden rally. That was reflected in the transcript. And they're getting some help keeping MSG top of mind from J-Lo.
From J-Lo. J-O. I have two more clips to share with you. So this big event in Arizona, in Glendale, RFK talked. This was about a 2-minute speech. I am very interested in this Bono situation. Elise 777. Bono hates Donald Trump, and she says, why do you think they bring him in for damage control? The Vatican brings him into damage control. Interesting. I'm going to be diving into this today. Here's RFK at Tucker Carlson's event here.
And somebody called me, one of the anchors of ABC today, and I had an off-the-record discussion with him. And he said, there's so much division in this country. And I said, that's because you're causing it. My nephew, who's traveled with me for 19 months, he's my wife Cheryl's nephew. And he's been working for me for 19 months and traveled everywhere with me. And he's met President Trump many times now. And he said to me today, he said, everybody who's met President Trump loves President Trump. He said, you can't help but love him. So why does half of America hate him? They haven't met him, and the media is telling them to hate him. And I said this, I said, you're demonizing him, you're vilifying him, you're calling us garbage, you're calling him Hitler, you're calling him a fascist. And of course people are gonna hate him. And I said, and by the way, you're writing all these articles condemning me coming into Washington, dismantling the pharmaceutical paradigm. Where are you getting your salary? From pharma. And he said, we tell both sides of the story. And I said, no, you don't. And he said, well, President Trump is saying radical things. I said, like what? He said he's going to pull CBS's license. And I said he ought to pull CBS's license.
Terry asked, it sounds like a smoker. Yeah, actually, RFK has a neurological disease, somatic something, spasmodic dysmorphia or something like this, that creates like vibrations in his vocal cords. And actually, this, when he was speaking here and recently when he's been speaking, I sound like Kamala Harris. I'm speaking. Gosh, I can't. Jeez. His voice has sounded significantly better. It's almost like he's been getting a lot of maybe the meds are working, or maybe he's working more on his voice. But yeah, Rob. Yeah, I don't think RFK ever smoked. He's actually really healthy. He's 74 something years old. My mind, he knows this. He's dropping down. My mind drops down the rabbit holes. I love it. Very deep in the Vatican. Don't forget. I'm not going to read that. Now we have here anything about the media. You guys can read it on the screen. Here's the last clip here. This is Tucker Carlson at his event.
I remember watching this. I wasn't emotional about it at first. I remember thinking my neighbors all seem so reasonable and sensible, even the Democrats. All kind of normal people. I mean, I lived on their street. Why are they so mad about a guy who says stuff like we should have a border? And then I realized that they hated Trump because Trump asked questions they couldn't answer. Like, why are we doing it this way? And I remember thinking and saying, well, I don't know, why don't you just answer his question? If not having a border is such a good idea, if it's so important to have a tight labor market, or if you think tariffs are so terrible, why don't you just explain why? Why are you yelling at the guy? No matter what he said, he would get up and say, I think we should have tariffs. And they would say, racist. And I would think to myself, what do tariffs have to do with race? I was completely confused. And then over time, within about a year, I realized people hated Trump because they were guilty of crimes. And those people were my neighbors and coworkers. My mind exploded. I mean, ultimately, I had to leave the city where I spent my entire life.
They were guilty of crimes and lying. It's what it is. It's what it is. Oh, guys, I am going to go down a rabbit hole as soon as we get off the stream. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole and look up to see what's going on with Mr. Bono. Because you guys, the media made the Vatican stuff disappear faster than a bottle of baby oil at Diddy's party. I cannot believe that his attorney came out and said the reason why he had so much baby oil is because there's a Costco down the street. Like, no. And then Costco came out and immediately was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't even sell baby oil, so you can't use that. Costco doesn't even sell baby oil. It's crazy. Yeah, well, you got it here, Terry. You got it here. So I popped in. Those were my two favorite clips. I didn't watch the entire thing. I watched Nicole Shanahan's entire speech. I watched Tucker's whole speech and then RFK's speech. It was good. It was good. Gina says, "Oh my gosh, Rob." Yeah, Walgreens sells baby oil for sure. I would travel down the rabbit hole on the stream, but I don't know what's going to pop up. I don't know what's going to pop up, especially on you know, this is the YouTubes. If we were, I'm actually thinking about pushing some stuff over to Rumble, just so there's no censorship. It's interesting. Earlier today, I was going to post in the comments or in the community tab on YouTube. I was going to post an image of. It wasn't an edited image. It was just an image of Mark Cuban, and it had Kamala Harris's camp basically tells him to shut up. They say, "Hey, bro, you can't do any pressers. You can't do any more interviews." And it wouldn't let me post it. It's crazy. So I removed the photo, and then I removed any verbiage from the Harris camp, and then it worked. Crazy. So we're on the platform, so we got to play by the rules. Yeah, Margie, I got to be careful. I'll make sure I'm oiled up so she can just slip, so I can just slip away. But why are they waiting to release the Diddy tapes? I don't know. I think there's just too many people. I think there's just too many people involved, and this is just my opinion. And I know that they have some tapes, and I don't know what they're waiting for. Yeah, what do you guys think? Why do you think they're waiting to release these tapes? Oh, thanks, Terry. Really appreciate you, man. Shout out to Terry. Terry's new member. Let's go. Shout out to Terry, my man. Thank you so much. All right, Coolio. I am shout out to Terry, by the way, and shout out to all the mods, man. Give the mods a round of applause. Give the mods a round of applause. Did you guys see this right here? I got this at the Trump rally yesterday here in Nevada. It was epic. Wi-Fi was super shoddy. I would have streamed, but it was super shoddy, and I didn't want to stream crappy footage. So, but I got that, and I got this right here. I got these two. They had the, but this one was probably my favorite. So that's why I picked it up. The energy at the Trump rally was freaking awesome. It was so cool, and it was Halloween. There were so many folks. So here's the thing. If I would have got there, I was in the overflow section. If I would have gotten there maybe 30 minutes earlier, I would have been good. Oh, I love you too, Gina. Love it. If I would have gotten there 30 minutes, if I would have got there 30 minutes earlier, I would have gotten in. It was interesting because I was like right at the door, and they were like, "Yo, we're at capacity, but you can go in overflow." I'm like, "All right, cool." So went to overflow. Really cool, really great experience. Everybody was dressed up in trash bags. There was an Asian lady. She was dressed up like Donald Trump. It was super awesome. I think I have some footage. I'll post it in the community section on YouTube. But she was dressed up. She painted her face, and she was short. She was not even 5 foot, and it was hilarious. People wearing safety vests, hard hats. It was an absolutely great experience. Yeah, Joe says Hot Wheels are coming out with a Trump dump truck. That's so awesome. That would be awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate you. With my Mama Rose and sister Mary. We love you. We love you. I love you too. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we need that Hot Wheels for sure. All right, cool guys. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna jump on out of here. Mama Rose and Sister Mary. Shout out to them. Yes. All right, guys, I am going to jump on out of here. I hope you guys have an amazing Friday night. Again, if you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section down below. Shout out to all the mods. Amazing chat. Some of the best chat, some of the best mods on the YouTubes. And yeah, guys, I will drop your comments down below. Smash the like button. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. You guys have a nice night. We'll chat soon.